Shadows crawling in the bright daylight, voices twisted, feeding us the blight, telling stories that were never true. We fight to break on through. Lies are woven like a velvet chain, slick with power driving us insane. But the fire burns deep within our chests. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we make our mark. They call us rebels, say we've lost our way, but freedom's blood, it fuels the fray. From the ashes comes a brighter light. We fight with all our might. See resolve in the roaring storm, breaking cages will rewrite the norm. No more silence, no more disguise. We fight with open eyes. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we'll never rest. We rise with fists clenched high, tearing through the veil, the sky. Truth's a blade that cuts the dark. We fight, we make our mark. We fight, we make our mark.
A tremendous success.
Your reaction to Elon Musk starting a third party?
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Your reaction to Elon Musk?
I love it. I love it. Political intrigue. You guys fans? I know I'm a big fan. It never gets old. It never gets old, never gets uninteresting. Anyways, how we doing tonight, folks? Good to see you all. Welcome to the Ace Report. We got stuff to talk about tonight. We have Elon trying to blow up Trump's agenda, the MAGA agenda, trying to destroy it. We have apparently my screen glitching. I just can't win on these streams lately, man. I just can't win. Oh, well. We're going to talk about the American Party. What does it mean? What's this going to do? What can we expect from this? There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of weird expectations, and I'm going to break it all down for you. It is just not going to be what you think. Well, at least most of you. And then we got some breaking news in the Epstein case, which is going to shock and disappoint a lot of people. And I also have a take that a lot of you guys are going to be like, what? Sure. Okay. It is what it is, guys. We're gonna cover it. We'll do that at the end, though, because there's really not too much information on it just yet. But first, before I say hey to everybody, before we get going, I really want to take a moment and just reflect on what's going on in Kerrville, Texas, and share about this for a moment. Now, listen to me. Kerrville, I spent 6 years of my life in this town that is now all over the national news because they got flooded the other night on July 4th. Actually, they woke up in the morning to the Guadalupe River just wiping out this town. And I've lived there. I've walked the Guadalupe several times. I've swam in it. I love Kerrville. Most of my best friends still live in Kerrville, Texas. It's very sad to me what's going on now. Thankfully, my friends are fine. My community is fine, but the death toll is now reaching up to 100 people. But I want to just share this quick update for those of you who might not know this is going on from Chip Roy right here. This is from the other day, but it'll at least give you an idea of what's been happening.
Search and rescue personnel there on the ground.
Yeah, well, I got in late last night, close to midnight. I was supposed to be in D.C. for the signing of the big, beautiful bill. I would normally be right by this bridge right behind me for the 4th of July celebration here in Kerrville. My family comes every year. And unfortunately, we're here under these circumstances. As Mike just said, the river right behind us rose almost 30 feet in less than an hour. Unprecedented, historic. It's like a wheelbarrow of water got dumped here. The great first responders, state, local, federal, we're all working together, about 1,000 boots on the ground yesterday. We had about 240 rescues yesterday. 160 of those were air rescues. I know they were working through the night to try to get to a few of the kids in camps who were isolated because you couldn't get to them because the roads were down. So a coordinated effort, plenty of resources here. We've got the manpower. It's just an operation to go make sure we can go find anybody who is still alive, and then obviously a recovery for those who unfortunately perished. Our prayers are with all the families, but it's not just the kids that we're obviously devastated about. It's also the local individuals, a camp director who I think really sacrificed her life trying to save kids, some stories about camp counselors doing the same, and we'll just have a lot we have to go through as we digest all of this. But I'm really proud of all the people who came together. Spoke with the president yesterday. He was supportive. Spoke with Secretary Noem yesterday. She was supportive. All of our colleagues have been reaching out. But now we just got to continue to finish the job today.
And Congressman, can you tell us from what you're learning from search and rescue?
Anyways, so my heart's been heavy this week. Obviously, July 4th, I spent in Georgia with my sister and her husband, who is a dear friend of mine, like a brother. And they used to live in Kerrville too. So we were all feeling this. It's been very difficult. Kerrville needs prayers. It's not only Kerrville, but it's mostly Kerrville. The latest numbers that I've seen are over 80 confirmed dead. Still missing, but my friends on the ground tell us that it's way worse than they're reporting. Way worse than they're reporting. And the reason is they're not going to report if they can't confirm. So I'm expecting that when it's all said and done, there will be upwards of 200, maybe even 300 deaths. So this is horrific. It's tragic. And there's all kinds of terrible things going around being said. I'm not going to get into those tonight. It's not worth the time. I did want to say thank you to President Trump and Governor Abbott. Unlike what happened here in North Carolina, the governor here, or governor in Texas, was there on the day. Governor Abbott was there as fast as he could be. President Trump has sent Kristi Noem on the second day with Black Hawk helicopters for rescues and has already signed all the relief they need, as well as mentioned it in public statements 3 times that I've counted so far, and J.D. Vance as well putting out. So we have a person who cares now in office, and that's very good. But please pray for Kerrville. I'm going to try to make it down there in the next couple weeks to help, because my friend was 30 feet away as the community right beneath him was completely wiped away. His house was only 30 feet away from being wiped out itself. So it's horrific, and nothing's more horrific than the fact that the children wiped out on this. There's a Camp Mystic, which hundreds of kids go to every year. A friend of ours is the camp director of the next camp right over, knew most of these people, and they had several of the girls. It's a girls' camp, few hundred girls there, and as what we know right now, there's close to 20 dead. There were 27 missing. I feel like a few have been recovered, but many have been found deceased. So it's the worst thing you could ever imagine. These poor baby children, 8 and 9 years old, beautiful girls, at the camp for the summer. Should be the best time of the year. And their parents should feel completely safe, and then they're just never coming back. It was a Christian camp, and not that that matters. Every life is precious anyways, especially young lives. But yeah, so this one hits close to home, and I just wanted to acknowledge it. There's not much we can do other than pray, unless you are nearby and you feel like you do some. But the government's actually doing a very good job on this one. But my friends are there. They are working. A lot of them are working. Some of them are even doing search and rescue. I just can't imagine what it's like right now. But anyways, it's horrific. But the last thing I wanted to talk about on it is just there's this lie going around that Trump and Doge defunded the weather alert system, and it's just an outright lie. They were alerted 3 times, but it was all in the night and early morning, so it was mostly ignored. This stuff happens a lot. But anyways, we have even the AP is saying Weather Service had extra staffers, had extra staff on duty during the storms, and so extra people, and there were 3 alerts. And but it just happened so fast. In 45 minutes, the river rose over 30 feet. So anyways, absolutely horrific. My prayers and heart are there right now. It's awful. I'm so grateful nobody I know was lost, but friends of mine had friends that were lost, people they knew. So it's crazy. And you see this stuff on TV. You can never, you always think like, oh man, it would be so horrible if it was us. And in this case, the only reason it wasn't me is because I just moved away a couple years ago. So it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane that this happened in a place where I had community. Since I've been married in 2008, Kerrville is where I spent the most of my time with my family. 6 years. We were there for 6 years. And I served on church there, had community of hundreds of people. Kerrville is a very special place. It's a small town, 25,000, but it's a nice town, and it's got a very tight-knit community. It's a special place, and this is just horrific. It's horrific. So anyways, but so I'll move on from that. We've got other stuff to cover, but just want everybody to know, if you didn't know this was happening, please pray. And if you already have been praying, thank you. They need all of it right now. So, okay. Anyways, off that note, listen, July 4th just happened. For most of America, it was a wonderful day of celebration. American spirit is up higher than it's been in years. It's actually been tracked in the polls. Trump signed the One Beautiful Bill, which the more I've studied, even though it's not perfect, I don't like that they don't cut more. Considering who we have in Congress, it's an amazing thing it got passed. And so that's officially law now. And I think we're going to see amazing things happen over the next couple years because of that bill. So that was a huge win we got last Thursday. Absolutely massive. And over the weekend, though, which usually would be a quiet political weekend, we had the Elon stuff come up, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But before I do, I need to say hey to the crowd. I've missed you guys. I hope you had a good holiday. Let me say hey to some people in the chat. It's a big chat. Welcome everybody here. I won't get to all of you, but let's do a few shout outs. So now what? Numero uno tonight. Butters and Steve King, the big 3. What's up, guys? Hero at Large, Cat Sink, US1, Just Mike, Toe Cramp, John Cox, Scott Volkovich, CJ Yukon, what's up? Marco, Thomas Dubois, Michael Cantero, Kim Wiley, Uncle Andy, what's up? Vince Felice, So Now What? Patrice MVP, Thomas Dubois, I already said Thomas, Randy Lochtefeld, MVP says, got word this morning your 8-year-old granddaughter of your wife's friend, the body was found. I am so sorry. That is so terrible. So many prayers for you guys and are your friends. That's awful. Joel Dawes, what's up, man? Enjoying the night shift. Candace Morrison, Aaron Salentine says Elon will split the Republican Party. We'll see. We'll see. As a green, you're never winning anything, so you shouldn't be laughing at others. Although it might be the only victory you get. Candace, what's up? Michael Tucker, Robert Kapke, how we doing? Troy, man. Moody, what's up? CJ, you're going there? You're going to Texas to help? That's awesome, man. Good for you. That's incredible. All right. Anyway, so the rest of you, still love you guys. I can't say hey to everybody because we got a show to do and lots to talk about tonight. So let's get right into Elon because this is a big one. So Elon went ahead and, he threatened if the One Big Beautiful Bill was passed, he threatened that he was going to end his support for the Republicans and start the American Party. By the way, I forgot. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you. And also, guys, if you haven't done it yet, hit the link in the description. Get your free first month to the Patreon membership so you can watch the members' lives exclusive to members only and also get right into the Discord. That's where it's all happening. Okay. With that being said, Elon started the American Party and everybody is up in arms about this. No Democrats are upset, which tells you exactly what they think it's going to do, which is split the Republican Party and split MAGA. And it's interesting. So let's go on. So with that said, Trump has already responded, which let's get right into what Trump says. He said, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that they have never succeeded in the United States. Fact check true. The system seems not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos, and we have enough of that with the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence and their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth running machine that just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of our country. It's a great bill, but unfortunately for Elon, it eliminates the ridiculous EV mandate, which would have forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time and will force Tesla stock to go down. Let's just be honest. Skip ahead. No more EV mandate. I've campaigned on this for 2 years, and quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew I was going to terminate EV, and it was every speech I made, he said he had no problems with that. I was surprised. Additionally, Elon asked one of his close friends from NASA, and while I thought his friend was very good, I was surprised to learn he was a blue-blooded Democrat who had never contributed to Republican before. Elon probably was also. He just calls him out. Elon did vote for Obama twice and Biden. I also thought an inappropriate, very close friend of Elon was in the space business, run NASA, when asked as a big part of Elon's corporate life. In other words, he would have been getting that SpaceX money more from NASA. So Trump calling out Elon here for trying to maybe subvert the government a little bit, and maybe that's what he's hurt about, which means, did Elon do MAGA the whole time because he thought Trump could be bought? Well, it's obvious Trump cannot be bought. It's obvious Elon's mad about it. This is really going to upset the Whitney Webbs of the world, who just believe that the technocrats are trying to control everything and actually are in full control of everything. This puts a big dump on that, but knowing Whitney Webb, she will never admit that. Oh, but let's talk about some of the fallout we're already seeing. PDB has been on it real good here. It says, imagine burning people that trust you. Let me explain. How many hardworking Americans put their savings into Tesla before and after the election only to watch Elon Musk sabotage it at every turn? He didn't just damage the stock, he let his influencer foreign puppets mock and troll the people who built him. Not Democrats. They sold the stock and burned the cars. MAGA believed in it. We bought the cars. We purchased and held stock. But you turned it into a circus. You don't care. You're another elite, untouchable, unaccountable, worst of all, out of touch. And he goes on and on and on. This, my friends, is blowing up on Elon. And Elon is going to be like everyone else who attacks Trump. they're going to break themselves upon the rock that is Trump. That's already happening. We have Bacha out there, my girl, posting, has Elon Musk ever criticized Xi Jinping the way he's criticized Trump? No, he hasn't. Why not? Well, half of Tesla vehicles made in China. Yeah, maybe he didn't like Trump slapping those tariffs on China. Elon is, I think he's one of the greatest inventors ever, one of the greatest entrepreneurs ever. But Elon is no constitutional Republican. That is absolutely a false narrative. Now, do I believe Elon might actually love America in some ways? Yeah, I actually think he do. I think he has some, and I want to emphasize some patriotic tendencies. I don't think Elon is full on deep state, but I do think Elon is about Elon. And let's keep breaking this down. Elon, not too long ago, went all in on Trump. Very few Americans realize that if Trump is not elected, this will be the last election. Far from being a threat to democracy, he's the only way to save it. Now, Elon, if that were true, by the way, the internet's forever, bro. The internet's forever. Elon is a little schizophrenic on this topic. Anyways, he goes on. We've seen it. I've talked about this when it happened, but breaking down, which he's exactly right. The illegals coming in, how they could fortify their elections going forward nonstop. He was absolutely right. Trump's the only way to save America. And I think in a little bit to an extent, because Elon was supporting DeSantis before this. I think Elon knew that if the Democrats got in, it was bye-bye business for Tesla. The Democrats were going to ruin capitalism in America. And Elon knew that. I think Elon likes his freedom, just like all the other technocrats do. And the Democrats were threatening to super regulate AI, not like healthy regulate, like over regulate, make it basically a completely controlled by the government, so on and so forth. There were all kinds of really shady policies that are going to come from Kamala. And I really believe Elon thought Trump was my only hope. The Republicans were my only hope because he was all in on DeSantis before Trump got shot. Once Trump got shot, he switched gears. And so that was his wake-up call. And, he's opportunistic. Kudos to him. But the problem is, with what he's saying now, again, bro, the internet is forever. And Elon, dude, if you're going to do this, don't do this. Newsleak suggests Elon Musk taps Mike Pence to run the new American Party. When I first saw this, I thought it was the funniest thing I'd seen all week, maybe in the last 2 weeks. Mike Pence, the biggest loser on the Republican Party right now, maybe not the biggest. He's definitely in the top 10. The dude who backstabbed Trump and now has no political future, zero, because he backstabbed MAGA too, who put all his political capital in the anti-Trump bag. He said, hey, I'm not a gambling man. I'm a man of faith, but I'm going to gamble right now. We'll play. I'm going to bet it all on red or black, Trump or darkness. I'm going to bet it all on darkness. Trump sucks. And he lost everything. You never go all in, Mikey. You never go all in on a bet like that, especially when you haven't done it before. Well, it blew up big. Mike Pence is now a complete loser. There is no one in this country who is going to follow Mike Pence. And if that's the leader, this is just a big joke. But is it a joke? I think Elon actually thinks he's smarter than somebody here. But where is he going to go with these people? People coming to support the American Party. Mark Cuban? Well, Mark Cuban will use it for attention. But Mark Cuban is too smart. Listen, no, whatever you think about Cuban, the dude is clever. He knows how to pick winners. He would never throw his power behind the American Party. He'll use it for a platform, and then he'll go right back to pumping the Democrats when he knows that's the only way they can win. Scaramucci, the man who tried to backstab Trump and come out, and one of Trump's guys, chief of staff for like a week. Trump bombed him because he sucked. And ever since then, he's been one of the biggest. Oh, I know Trump and he is a bad dude. Let me tell you, I am the behind the scenes guy. Okay, Mooch. Okay, when you're done French kissing Chris Christie, which we've seen the tape, buddy. We've seen you kissing him. Get back to us on that one. This guy, again, nobody likes Scaramucci except MSNBC, who will put him on to talk bad about Trump. Brian Krasenstein, influencer, got started by selling porn sites with teenage girls on it. Yeah, class act right there. That's who you want on there. Thomas Massey. Do I really have to reiterate everything I think about Thomas Massey? The biggest fraud currently on the right side of the aisle. Yeah, that's all you got to know. We've already talked about Pence. Who's following these people? Can you tell me who one person this excites? One at all? Yeah, nobody. That's who. But what do they want to do? So Musk's American Party wants to cut spending, including popular programs like Social Security. True. Musk says just cut it all. Let's get back under budget. Yeah. So maybe not the worst idea in theory, although there's a lot of people who disagree with me on that. I'm just saying, let's see how it plays out. But politically speaking, never. No one's voting for that except the Libertarians, who the Libertarians, you know, if you want their 0.5% vote, it can swing a very close election. Musk already said he's not running a presidential politician. So if we don't have to worry about it, the presidency ruin a close race, what do we have to worry about? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Wants no border security funding, but more immigration in the name of GSP. I don't know what GSP is but he loves those H-1B visas, man. Bring over the Indians, the Indians. Bring them over. Let them work for cheap. Let's get our slave labor back. Elon, that's who he is. Remember that big H-1B fight back in December on X? Yeah, Elon was on that side of things. Bending the knee to the climate cult, we'll get there in a second, is against the Second Amendment. Well, let me clarify that one. He's not fully against the Second Amendment, but if Musk got his way and the American Party became the party, the Second Amendment would be severely limited, especially on assault weapons. Let's just use his own words against him. Elon Musk, the only action needed to solve climate change is a carbon tax. Whoa. Well, there you go. A little socialism for you. If that's your cup of tea. Oh, Elon, what? Wait, you didn't even delete this one. This is still on X. Still on X, 2018. By the way, I'm actually a socialist. Just not the kind that shifts resources from most productive to least productive. Wait, isn't that the whole point of socialism? Explain. Pretending to do good while actually causing. Oh, okay. Let's qualify it. You're a socialist because you're a good socialist. True socialism seeks the greatest good of all. Oh, that's fine. Okay. I forgot. It's not that socialism or communism are bad. It's just that they never have worked before because the people ran it were bad. Guys, the good people need to be the socialists. That's all. That's the belief. That's what, that's what not mine, but mine. My 18-year-old buddies believed in college. Man, you don't understand. Mao, Stalin, they killed 100 million people, but they were bad, man. If the good people were in charge, it would have worked, bro. It would have worked. I'm telling you, it would have worked. Meanwhile, even when I'm 18, 19, I just kind of stared at them like, you really that stupid? Like, who actually believes that? Well, apparently Elon Musk does. So just the stupidest, most debunked lie in modern history when it comes to politics is the statement that socialism could work if the right people we're in charge, except that it can't work because once it's implemented, you lose all motivation from everybody else because there's no upwards incentives. It becomes the failed system every single time. And the bad people always rise to the top. Always. Socialism doesn't work because it goes against the entire the entire basis of human nature, which is that I am incentivized to help myself and my family. I'm not incentivized to help the collective. I'm not incentivized to help Joe Schmo 3 states over. I'm incentivized to help those I know most. And it never, ever works. And it never will work. And at this point, anybody who still thinks it'll work needs some help, needs some real help. And I get that a lot of people really want it to work because it sounds nice, right? No one has needs. Everybody's taken care of. They'll just be so good. But it doesn't work that way. Human nature is incapable of getting to that point. It's not who we are. So capitalism is the only system that works for humans. And that's why every single country that has implemented even a little bit of socialism, France, Germany, Greece, England, even those that flirt with just a little bit of it, America, but thankfully we're breaking it up, they all find that it has its limits. Pension funds, breaking. Welfare system, breaking. Debt spiraling, because the more you give the people, the less they produce. And the bigger the government gets, the more the people won't work for it. It just falls apart. Always. That is the best case scenario for socialism. The best case scenario for socialism is what you're seeing in Europe, where it was great for about 20 years. And then the problems started. And when I say great, I don't mean great. I just mean people weren't in the streets getting murdered. But then the problem started. They had to start importing all the immigrants for dirt cheap wages. And now we're seeing a system implode. It always happens. Always. There is no one case where it worked out. Not one in history. I don't care. You can call it whatever you want. It has been attempted over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I feel like in that Wayne's World skit. And over again. Never works. Never will. You cannot make socialism work. And Elon, being such a smart guy in so many areas, when it comes to politics, he is, Brett, hit me, Brett. A retard. On we go. Fallout. PDB again nails it. Millions of people will hate Elon from all sides of the political spectrum. The left already hates him. Fact check, true. And now the right does as well. Well, we're getting there. I don't hate Elon Musk. Not yet. But I'm getting very annoyed. It was the first blow up was obnoxious. This is actually now something that can hurt. And I don't think it'll hurt that bad. We'll get to that in a minute because I think the backlash is already growing so quickly. I think Elon's going to find he has way less support for this than he believes he does. He says, once Trump turns on the heat, Elon's brand will be rocked. Let's not all make believe Elon is that much of a genius, hasn't received help. Very true. Elon, one of his greatest gifts, one of his biggest brilliances was attaching himself to industries where the government was shelling out credits and grants like they were Halloween candies. Here you go. You get a credit and you get a credit. Okay, Oprah, you get a credit. Oh, you're green? You get a credit. And that's what he did. And it was very smart. But that just got rug pulled big time in the One Big Beautiful Bill. So now Elon has got to do the work. Let's see if he does. Or let's see if Petey's right and says you're about to witness the greatest personal brand destruction in recent history. I actually think it could be true. And Praying Medic, who's one of the most prophetic people I've ever followed, I've been following this man for 15 years. His insights have been very on point. And some of his stuff that when he has these dreams, not all of them come true, but you can see a lot of them have. And he writes, I had an interesting dream 5 or 6 weeks ago. The work Elon put into his companies came crashing down around him. His dreams had been shattered. Interesting stuff. And we already have James Fishback is one of the biggest Tesla shareholders, worked with Elon and Doge. Says, I don't care if Elon loses his money, but Tesla's not his. It belongs to his shareholders. We deserve a full-time CEO, not someone fixated on sabotaging President Trump. And he's already created an organization against the American Party. So let's talk this one out. This American Party is going to have money behind it for one cycle, and that is the next midterms. I believe it'll be very short lasting. I believe Elon's going to do some, and then he's going to get burnt out real quick. And I also think there's a chance, because the midterms are a year and a half away, I think there's a chance that he burns out before then, because the traction on this is going to be very little from what I'm seeing. You're going to get the libertarian types who jump over, which is hilarious to me. The libertarians want so badly. They want so badly to be liked and relevant that they will join an avowed socialist, which is everything against what libertarians stand for. But there are very few principled libertarians. Axe in our Discord, principled libertarian. Couple people we watch video-wise that are out there, principled libertarians. Most libertarians are not principled. Most libertarians just want to go with whoever is fighting the Republicans or Democrats because they hate them and they want to be relevant. So that's what they do more than anything else. So they'll jump on. Thomas Massey, after all these latest bickerings with Trump, I would not be surprised if he actually joins the American Party as an independent in the American Party. He could get elected in. What would that change for us? Nothing. The only way it could change anything is if we're gridlocked in the House, 222 to 222 with the Democrats, and he is the one keeping it from giving one side a majority, in which case he could choose who he caucuses with, and they would then get the House, the Speaker of the House. So Elon says he wants to get a senator in there. Not going to happen. The senators, it is so much harder to get a senator because the whole state votes on them. You are not going to break in and get a senator. He could knock off a close Republican race. That is very possible. I don't think he'd be able to screw up the elections enough to cost us the Senate. I don't. We might lose a seat because of this. In the House, there's not that many close House seats. If he runs people in those districts, he could upset a couple House members. But I think with the big, beautiful bill now passed, if the economy is doing what I think it's going to be doing now in about 18 months, I think the Republicans are going to be positioned for a red wave, which means the American Party is not going to help much. So the big fear out there is that the American Party is going to cause a lot of damage. Guys, X is not real life. When Elon posts his polls and he gets, I'm doing this because 60% of people want a new party. Guess what? Those polls are voted on by people from all over the world. And the bots. Don't forget the bots. And here's the thing. Elon knows it. He could have localized that poll. He chose not to. He chose to leave it open. This is an ego stroke for Elon. And it might, and I'm predicting it will, backfire only on him and no one else. I think that's what's going to happen. So we might see a little blip, but I think it'll be so unsuccessful, and Elon gets bored. Elon gets bored real fast. unless they got a significant momentum in the midterms next year, which I doubt, unless they gain significant rapport across the country, which I doubt even more, Elon's going to be out after the elections, and the American Party it'll become just like the Libertarian Party, about 0.3% of the vote and not doing much anything. So that's what I predict is going to happen with the American Party. And I also predict that if Elon sticks with it too much, the harder he goes after MAGA, the more it's going to hurt Tesla. He will lose SpaceX contracts. And the one thing he'll still have is Starlink. But what happens if Starlink starts getting less favorable coverage, less favorable attention? The government stop being less friendly with it. I mean, lots of bad stuff can happen. He'll still be a billionaire. He'll still be rich, but he's going to be a very lonely billionaire and not beloved at all, because once those contracts dry up, it's going to get wild. So that's where we're at. Let me get to the chat before we go on to Epstein, because I want to end on Epstein, but I also want to catch up with the chat and make sure I'm checking in with you guys. We'll take some questions, comments, all that fun stuff. MVP Chair says, maybe this American Party is a plot by Musk and Trump to expose the bad guys. Hope so. Third parties like Ross Perot taking votes from Bush Sr. Yes, except for the fact that he's not going to run a presidential candidate. They've already said that. So 2028 will be J.D. Vance versus whatever poopy Democrat they put up to lose big. That's what that'll be. I don't think it's a plot anymore. I think after the first one, we could have thought that. But since Elon's gone further and blown this up, I actually think this is truly just Elon freaking out and being a douche. And he might have somebody behind his back trying to get him to do his thing. But I legitimately believe Elon thought that by joining with Trump, he was going to have persuasion to get Trump to do a lot of things for his company. Because if Elon truly cared about America and about the MAGA movement as he said he did, he would have been fine when Trump said no to his NASA guy. He would have been fine because he knew Trump was always against the EV credits. But he would have taken all the good stuff Trump's doing that he said he liked, and it would have been more than enough. Because when you vote somebody in, the vast majority of Americans understand you won't get 100% of what you want, because it's almost impossible. Because even in the MAGA movement, I have been here from the beginning. I'm very into this. I'm very big politically. I'm not 100% with everything that's happening. I'm very close to it. I'm in the high 90s, but I'm not 100%. But I understand why I don't get everything I want, because there's people in Congress who don't agree with me. There's people in MAGA who don't agree with me. That's okay. That's how it works. But if I'm getting 95% of what I want, that is the biggest win you can ever ask for in politics. And that's what Trump's giving me. A good president in the past would have given me, it's like if you get 75, 80% of what you want, it's killing it. To get, in my opinion, for me, Trump has given me 90 to 95% of what I want out of a presidency. It doesn't get better than that, folks. It really does not. And so most people understand that. Musk is acting like he doesn't. That's hard for me to believe because he voted for Obama twice and Biden once. Robert Kapke, New Kerrville. God bless you, man. That's awesome. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, Brett, for reminding me to remind everybody. Guys, please take 1 second, hit that like button. Really helps the show for the algorithm. And also, if you're new, please subscribe so you don't miss anything. We do this 4 to 5 times a week. I'll always be honest with you. I will always cover things the way I see it and always give you the inside scoop because I do the research. I don't just take it at face value. And if you're interested in more, hit that join button down there in the description. It will give you free access for a month to my Patreon. There you go. Forbidden Plan says liberals used to be the big buyers of Teslas due to the green crap they believe in. So maybe there's a plan to get his liberal douchebag buyers back and divide the Democrat Party. Ha ha, maybe. But don't forget, Forbidden, that the liberals don't forgive. Once you're out, you're out. And Elon forever now, because of the base, because what he said about his kid going trans and him hating the Democrats for that, they will never forgive him. There's no coming back for Elon unless he completely bows down before them, kisses the ring, and goes all in, money to the Democrats. That's liberals. That party, that base does not forgive. MAGA is very forgiving. We bring people back. Look at Marco Rubio. You prove yourself to us, we want you in here. RFK Jr., Tulsi, very anti-Trump in the beginning. Now they work for him. We're very forgiving. Liberals, never. Never, never, never. MM says NASA money for SpaceX because they don't have any company to do it. And if they use other countries more money and they wait for Boeing or ULA, it's like 50 times the price. You're right. But then we could maybe start doing it ourselves. And, you know, that would be great. Jim Boswell says the USSR tried government-owned grocery stores, shortages, bad meat limits on fit. It never works. It never, ever works. Cindy Lou says Elon went from hero to zero in just a few months. Yep. Steve Bannon called it, baby. He called it. Vince says about Mike Pence, Judas is the leader of the American Party. I love it. What's next? Paul Ryan. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Forbidden says, I think Elon and Trump are tricking everybody, drawing out the scumbags. Maybe. I doubt it, though. And I've told you why I doubt it, but I'll be honest. I hope you're right. MVP, when I see the Dem Party block vote, it's about money and power in the money train. Have to get reelected at all costs. Voters' constituents mean nothing. Money trains everything. Very true. Brett says Corn Pop was a bad dude. Hung out with a bunch of bad boys. Corn Pop. Biden? Let's see here. So now it says a socialist is only an unelected communist. Like that. Brett reminds us that even Kamala scrubbed her old tweets. I know, Elon. What's the deal, bro? What's the deal? Wicked says the name American Party is the same like when Democrats write bills without the true scary name. That's true. The Democrats are the least democratic. That's the other part. Michael Tucker asked me to discuss Bill Pulte going after Jay Powell. Well, I've talked about this for a moment before. Trump has been very much highlighting Jay Powell. He's not happy with him. And now Pulte, he's used as his attack dog. So Bill Pulte, I'm guaranteeing you, has a full green light from Trump to go after Jerome Powell. And Trump was probably like, listen, bud, I need to get rid of this guy. Find anything you can on him. And Pulte found that they spent $2.5 billion on renovating the Federal Reserve building. And he's like, oh, that doesn't look right. So he's looking into it. And there might be fraud, which would force Powell to resign, in which case Trump would get a new Fed chair faster. So listen, politics is dirty, and that's okay, because that's just how it is. Trump is not afraid to play dirty as long as it's benefiting the American people, and I love that. I'm definitely okay with that. He's turning into dumbass Chuck, making EVs retarded, riding the bus retarded, even brushes teeth. Brett went all in, as what I would hope he did. I would expect nothing less from you, sir. MVP Chair says MMTLP could be on the front burner with lowering interest rates. Now the OBBB is done. The big, beautiful bill, tariffs, inflation, zero, illegals, etc. addressed. Trump and DOJ are aware they are. And Trump's already told us his next move is to fix the elections. So that's their next big move. Once elections are secure, I think we'll see where he goes next. But I can't guarantee it. I feel very strongly that the markets are on the list. It's just about when he gets to them. I really believe that. Brett says the American Party is going to work out like Bernie Sanders, not really well and irrelevant after many years. Very true. Bernie still has a huge following, but it doesn't move the needle. And that's what matters. That's what matters. Aaron says, I'm getting 0% of what I want. Great representation. Well, you didn't vote for him. So that's to be expected. Comment General Flynn interview. I don't know about the General Flynn interview. I must have missed it. Elon might become trans. That would win the liberals back. That definitely would. G-Bucks tomorrow. I hope so. JC Cool says, regarding Alligator Alcatraz, I drove by there on Saturday around noon, and there was only one protester standing on the side of the road with a sign, Alligators Hungry. Hungry, or they just don't have the fire, man. Listen, we are learning that the idea that all these protesters, 2020, even in LA, they were all funded. Not all of them, but a good deal of them. And when you're funded and you have all this USAID money, which is now gone, you can do a lot of things against your government. You can cause a lot of chaos. But they don't have that anymore. They faked how big their movement was, their anti-Trump movement is, with money. That money is now gone. Trump keeps winning. It is destroying them. They are losing so bad. I don't even know if you guys understand how bad the last 2-3 weeks was for the left. They are so discouraged right now, and they are scrambling to find anything. They unleashed everything they had, and nothing happened. Trump navigated Israel and Iran almost perfectly, better than any president I think ever has or could have done. Navigated that amazingly. The Supreme Court sided with him. He got peace in Uganda. He got the one big beautiful bill signed, which is devastating to them. They get money from the green scam as well. That's all getting defunded. Their people get handouts from the government through Medicaid and SNAP, all getting defunded with work requirements. Not defunded, that's the wrong word, but getting reformed with work requirements. Illegals getting kicked off. Trump's deportation efforts. ICE has been operating on $2 billion. They are about to get $45 billion. Bye-bye. The border's already closed. All we got to deal with is who's here. Bye-bye. $45 billion. Double ICE agents. Courts expediting now that there'll be more illegals, deportation judges. Trump is winning so hard right now. They don't know what to do. And so they're trying to get gin up energy for it, but it's loss after loss after loss in a way that we've never known. Even when Obama was at the peak of his power, we had wins. You guys might not remember, but he made a major push for gun control. The American people fought back. We won that fight. We won that fight. The healthcare, they made a push. Single payer. They were trying to get the government fully take over healthcare. They had to revise it so much that we could take out the worst parts of it. We won that fight. Now healthcare is a mess, but it can be fixed. We won. We had wins. The Tea Party movement, we got the House in such a big fashion. We really slowed down Obama on all his other stuff. Biden, we got a lot of wins. The Supreme Court slapped him down so many times. We were getting wins. They have nothing. They don't know what to do with themselves. The Democrats are falling apart, and the liberals are just, they're a dying breed at this point because they were surviving completely on being funded. They don't have anything. So there's no wins. So there's no organic momentum. And now there's no money, which they needed to keep things going. It's getting wild for them. Ficus says, I think Trump should wait for the economy to crack this fall, then blame Powell. That's a good point. I like that. Let's get the likes up. Thank you, BM Pro. Please like and subscribe. Forbidden says, Elon has so many different areas to draw from. Robots he's making, the ability to be taught a new skill. He does. He's going to be rich, but he'll be hated if he keeps going this way. He already pissed off half the American people. Don't like him anymore. And the other half is getting pissed off fast. So now it says there are more than 10 people protesting. It's funded. That's true. Yeah. Alan says U.S. aid money is and was a deep state with the demon rats having their hands out, now all gone 100%. JC Cool says Trump said we'd get tired of winning. We'd ask him to stop. In reality, I want to keep winning. Amen. I know. It was a brilliant line, though. Brilliant marketing line. Johnny Strayhorn says, I've seen the data. If ICE was a country, they would be third in military funding. Well, that's what we need right now. It won't be that way forever. But right now we need that. Forbidden says, is AOC going to get arrested for hiring illegals? I don't know, but wouldn't that be fun? Her people will definitely get kicked out. JC says, every time I hear a Democrat say something wild about Trump policies, I realize how lost they really are. They don't know what to do. They don't. They are scrambling. And here's the deal. They have no leadership. They keep saying, oh, we're going to win the midterms, as if it's some, early conclusion that they can guarantee. No, it's not a foregone conclusion. Most presidents do lose in the midterms. That is a historical fact. However, most presidents are not Trump, who is now the most popular second-term president in modern history. He's trending above Obama right now. He's the most popular Republican president with his base ever since the polls been taken. More popular than Reagan. That's a big one, guys. That's a biggie. Reagan was the chosen one when I was growing up. He was the legend, Ronaldus Maximus, as the great Rush Limbaugh used to say. Trump's more popular with his base, which is incredible. So Trump killing it. When you have that kind of popularity, you don't lose the midterm. Sorry, you just don't. The fly out of rights has been. Brett says, did I see Walmart, Obama, and Spartacus rant the other day? Timu Obama? Akeem? Yeah, it was great. He said he took advice from Nancy Reagan to say no to drugs and you stop hanging out. I love it, Brett. You're always there, man. You understand the drug culture. Okay, let me get to the last big story of the day. And it is a big story. So, from an FBI memo came out, said that the FBI concludes Epstein had no client list and officially committed suicide. This memo states that after pouring through hundreds and thousands of hours of video, they could not find any evidence of people he trafficked to. They couldn't find evidence of blackmail, and they couldn't find evidence of suicide. Now, suicide thing, I could take it or leave it. I don't care. It's interesting. Ultimately, doesn't matter if he committed suicide or not. It doesn't. I mean, they couldn't find evidence he was murdered. I'm sorry. The evidence is that he committed suicide, they claim. So, interesting things about this memo. Why now? Axios is reporting this. Not to say Axios, not necessarily the most friendly to Trump paper, but everybody is picking this up now. It's all over X. All the libertarians are saying, oh man, we told you so. All the moderates are like, oh man, Trump failed us. All the Democrats are like, told you, yeah, he's one of them. They're all having a little victory run on a Sunday night of a holiday weekend right now, thinking this is the big deal. But Jordan Sather has some great points here. He says, does this even look like a real memo? No date, no names, no sign-offs. Well, I mean, look at this. A seal, but no color. I feel like the memos I've seen have color, maybe not. All black and white, which, again, no color. But here's what he's talking about. No signed by anything. No to the great blah, blah, blah. So, to the, usually they state who they're sending it to, is the point. And so Jordan he says his intuition hit, says some shills and the FBI slapped together a fake video and unsanctioned memo, dumped the video on an obscure justice.gov webpage, and leaked the memo to Axios. It looks like the Trump admin is covering up Epstein. Oh my God, Trump must be involved. Puts him in a tougher predicament over disclosing Epstein details because an official narrative is being established. Clean up the moles, Kashi says. There has been no statement on this memo from Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, or Donald Trump. Donald Trump made the promise he'd release the Epstein files. Pam Bondi made the statement that they were combing through them and would release them. Kash Patel on Rogan said, I don't have what you want in there, but we'll release them when they're there. You have the three biggest people in charge of justice in the whole nation all saying we get the files. And for this to be leaked like this without without any of them offering a statement, it is a little fishy. Now, I could be eating crow tomorrow. Pam Bondi could come out tomorrow and be like, this is our official statement. We couldn't find anything, blah, blah, blah. I have to retract my previous statements. And we're going to have stuff to talk about if that happens. Trust me. We're going to have some crazy stuff to talk about. And it could get even more interesting. They could actually say this is not true and it was fake. And we're going to find out there's a mole and all these outlets grabbed this memo and ran with it without verifying it. Now that is going to get interesting too. And is that a way to weed out some bad fly? No, I don't know. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. But this is weird. I have never seen a memo typed this sloppily without a color seal on it and not signed. But that's just me. Along with this, there's a video out there that showing how no one could have entered into Epstein's cell. It's not worth playing. It's long. So, you guys can go watch it if you want. I'm going to wait and see what happens on the official statements on this one. But I will say, Diddy got off light this last week. His prosecutor who screwed up the trial is James Comey's daughter. Did they screw that up on purpose? And now are they releasing stuff ahead of time to try to screw up what's going on? Because this doesn't, let's just step back a second. If they're saying that there's no evidence of clients and blackmailing, then why the hell is Ghislaine Maxwell still on trial or waiting trial? Why has she been sitting in a prison for 2.5, 3 years awaiting a trial and they're admitting there's no evidence? I don't know. Some smells real fishy, but we'll have to wait and see where this goes. Cool ass, has it been independently verified? Nope. Comey's daughter got rid of the evidence, says JC Cole. It's possible too. So we'll see. But there is some suspiciousness around this. Now, there's another possibility. And this will be them verifying that this memo is correct. It's that it is correct and they just leaked it out early before it had been signed and been polished. That's possible. The other possibility is that because this is not legally binding, that this is a setup for another major rug pull later where they can say they did find some. And this makes everybody, a bunch of bad actors feel comfortable so they maybe poke their heads back out again. So that's very conspiratorial, but is it possible in this world with what we've seen the last few years? Yeah, it is. Robert Pierpont says, literally just Googled FBI memo pictures, went to images. None of them are in color in any ways. Yes. Brett says, Diddy will do okay in prison, but I think prisoners have a completely different idea of a freak off party. We'll see. I don't know if Diddy will do okay. Ugh. So now it says she has been sitting for 3 years and no trial yet. That's insane. That's right. Ghislaine is being held for a reason. Do not forget that. And yes, Diddy had video on everybody. I completely agree with you. I think that whole case was botched on purpose, but we'll find out. Or maybe he cut some backroom deals and they made it easier on him to escape without having to call for a plea deal. I don't know. But I can tell you that there's a lot of stuff going on right now that doesn't add up. A lot of stuff going on that doesn't add up. So, Robert says, I did find some in color, but not even half. Okay. So maybe they're not in color. I guess maybe I haven't seen DOJ memos before, but usually when I see an official memo, it's got a color seal on it and it's signed. So maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But thanks, Robert. We'll see what happens. But I do think it, like Randy said, it's a joke that there's no evidence with Epstein blackmailing. JC Cole says she's a prisoner witness protection program. Well, why would she have to be there unless she's got something that they're afraid could be a danger to her life? I don't know. Again, some of this stuff just not adding up. But you know what? We're going to find more. Obviously, I will always keep eyes on this. I will always give you guys the latest. On that note, guys, I'm calling it a night. I hope you guys had an awesome July 4th weekend. We live in the best country in the world. It's only getting better. So much good is happening, but there's so much still left to be done. Love you guys. I appreciate your support so much. Please, again, pray for Kerrville, pray for Texas. Bless those people. And yeah, Brett says real quick, that document's missing an addressee, date, and author. I then see all that. Yeah, very suspect. So please, guys, before you leave tonight, before I sign off, just take 1 second, hit that like, subscribe. I'm very grateful to you if you do. Join if you'd like for a free month on Patreon. Get all the members' lives for a month and access to Discord for a month for free by clicking the link in the description. And on that note, let's do what we always do and end in a prayer because God knows we need it. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for July 4th weekend and the birth date of our nation, this incredible nation. Father, I pray that this next year, our 250th year, is truly the year we get fully back on track. And so I thank you for that, Lord, and all you're doing right now, the way our country is getting back to being America we love and cherish, can be proud of. Bless and protect President Trump and his crew, Lord. Bless them, watch over them, give them protection and wisdom in Jesus' name. Father, protect and bless Kerrville, Texas. God, with the devastation that's there, the horrible things, I pray, God, that some of the missing girls still find them alive. I know that it's almost hopeless. I know that the odds are so stacked against it, but miracles happen. Several miracles have already happened in Kerrville, and I just pray for more in Jesus' name. Be with that community, and I pray that they get everything they need out of this and more. Thank you for that, Lord. And Father, bless this community here. I pray that everybody here with needs, God's had some met, that you would be there for them. Pray for those who need healing like Thomas Dubois, that you'd be with them, Lord. Give them peace and bless their bodies to fully heal in Jesus' name. And we thank you, Lord, for everything you're doing. We're very blessed. And the events in Kerrville, the events in North Carolina last year, and so many other places, they remind us that we are blessed. And those of us who aren't dealing with that, especially those terrible disasters. So hug your loved ones tight tonight, and God bless us all in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Please, again, like, subscribe, and be back tomorrow. See you all then. Take care.